In the United States, killing a police officer comes with severe punishment. Mary shot and killed a cop, but she only got 20 years in prison. Today was the day she got out. The person picking her up was her parole officer. He reminded her that even though she was free now, that freedom came with a lot of strings attached. She couldn't set foot in any entertainment venues, and she wasn't allowed to have contact with anyone who had a criminal record, especially anyone convicted of a felony. Break any single one of those rules, and she'd be sent straight back to prison. Mary showed no emotion when she heard those terms. Neither of them noticed the car parked just outside the prison gate. The man inside was watching Mary. On his phone screen was a news report from 20 years ago about the cop she had shot and killed. On the road, the parole officer lined up a job for Mary, but she turned it down. She said she already had work. He didn't believe her and insisted on giving her a business card. He explained that the owner of a seafood plant was a friend of his, and the guy didn't mind hiring people with a criminal background. Mary had no choice but to take the card. The parole officer dropped her off at her place and told her she had to show up on time every Tuesday morning. At the same time, the man had followed them there. He watched Mary get out of the car, then angrily turned his car around and drove to a car wash. That's where he found his brother. Turns out, the cop Mary killed all those years ago was their father. The older brother couldn't accept that Mary only did 20 years and was now free. He tried to convince his brother to join him in killing Mary to avenge their father's death, but the brother said no. Mary went back to her old workplace, but the boss refused to pay her the wages she had earned all those years back because of her criminal record and kicked her out. With no other options, she had to take the job at the seafood plant her parole officer had mentioned. The meager pay wasn't enough to get by, so she had to work 2 jobs at the same time. The stench in the dorm and the exhaustion from the grueling work were nothing compared to the 20 years she'd spent in prison. The only thing on her mind was her sister, who'd been missing for years. Mary had no parents growing up. She'd raised her little sister all by herself. Then she got arrested for killing that cop. Her sister was just 5 years old at the time, and after that, there was no trace of her ever again. In prison, she kept writing letters to her sister, but she never once got a reply. She didn't even know if her sister was still alive. She searched online for adoption records, but couldn't find anything. She went back to the scene of the crime from all those years ago. The house had a new owner now. The woman living there noticed Mary, so Mary lied and said she used to work there as a nanny. The woman invited her inside and mentioned finding a pair of baby shoes inside the wall. Mary panicked and immediately made an excuse to leave. The husband warmly offered to give her a ride to the station. In the car, he deliberately asked about the previous owners. Mary's answers were halting and evasive. He sensed she was lying and pressed her on who she really was. Mary didn't confess to the killing. She just said she wished she had a lawyer to help her. The man believed her and handed her his business card. When the lawyer got home, he saw the news report about Mary's crime. That's when he realized she had lied to him. So he stopped taking her calls. With no other option, Mary left the lawyer a message. She told him her real story and begged him for help one more time. The lawyer felt a pang of sympathy and agreed to help her find her sister at a get-together with friends. The younger brother found out his older brother had been privately investigating Mary. He was furious. The older brother called him a coward and told him everything he knew about Mary. Their mother had been bedridden ever since their father died, an oxygen mask always on her face, barely hanging on. Those words got to the younger brother. He went alone to the small cabin where Mary worked. He didn't reveal who he was and pretended to be making a delivery. Mary rushed out in a hurry and didn't notice him hiding inside. He quietly went upstairs, picked up Mary's notebook, and saw it was filled with letters she had written to her sister. A thought began to take shape in his mind.